The following podcast may contain strong language. Listener discretion is advised.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to Hallmark of Greatness Pod-Castaway, the podcast that will upgrade to the deluxe package and caress a Foster's. I'm Joe, and with me as always, playing a sad lament about a milkmaid on his tin whistle, it's James.
It's got all them shells in it. It's clogged up. Doesn't work anymore.
And knocking the Tods off Pooh Mountain for a fun-sized Mars bar, it's Plantys.
Joe is not a bastard.
I am. If you want to keep up to date with all the Hallmark of Greatness gossip, you can find us on Blue Sky, Instagram, and Facebook at Hallmark of Greatness. Or if eating boiled seaweed to appease Poseidon is your dream, you can email us at hallmarkofgreatness@gmail.com. The end is in sight. It's kind of exciting. We're nearly there, I think. And honestly, it feels like a bit of a anticlimax.
Oh, it's a damp squid.
I would have. You could have boiled that up.
You could.
Nice.
Tasty.
Yeah, this is the middle episode of a string of 3 episodes of recaps.
Yes, essentially. It's
I mean, there's new material in there. There's stuff that we didn't know.
No,
that's interesting.
There's a great bit about potatoes that I love. How many potatoes? I mean, not to say that he was right.
What you mean.
Not to say that he was right, but Ron was right.
Yeah, this was the episode that aired the night after the previous episode that you've just listened to, hopefully. Tuesday, the 19th of December, 2000. Other things you could have watched. If you tuned in at 3:50, you could have got Chuckle Vision. Paul and Barry get jobs as Lollipop Men. The end.
You need a DBS check for that these days.
It was such a simple time, wasn't it? Where you could just
brace yourself, because 6 o'clock, BBC News with Hugh Edwards.
Animal
Hospital.
You don't need a DBS check for either of those jobs, apparently. Sake.
Dear. The only two there that aren't worrisome is the Chuckle Brothers, ironically.
Who would have thought it?
I mean, it was a simpler time when you could that was your whole script outline. Was just,
were they we
become Lollipop Men.
Though? The only ones not doing shit from Rotherham at the time. Fuck me. Whole time was
I will have no Chuckle Brothers slander. While it's not my type of thing, it brought joy to lots of daft children over the years.
At least Rolf Harris was only in the animal hospital, unlike Jimmy Savile that was in the yeah.
Let's not do this, because we're here to talk about episode 18 of Castaway 2000. Is this the good, the bad, and the ugly?
This is Changed Lives.
Oh, Changed Lives. Sorry.
Which
they've all got
means
now.
nothing. Which means not a jot.
Fistful of dollars would have made it.
What's upon a time in Tarrant?
What are you aiming for? They asked the people at the start. Nobody says felling and eating a deer in open defiance of the Deer Commission for Scotland. Nobody.
No one says leaving a maypole up until Christmas.
Lurking in a cave to avoid my enemies. It's all possibilities.
Toby got me started for the night tonight when he done an extra button on his shirt and give us a bit of hairy chest.
If you're going to do 2, you may as well do 3. And then 3's 4, isn't it, essentially?
It's absolutely. I expected to go, I think I'm going to dance now.
I had Lord Byron of Leeds.
I mean, you go a lot classier than I do, James, every week.
But yeah, all these fresh faces. Trish with one of her kids that we never see again.
No,
yeah.
I didn't even know she had kids.
Neither did she.
No, like, there must be some ones on the island. I thought they were just feral. Like, some kids were on there, and the city kids mixed in with them, like Stig of the Dump. You know what I mean?
Well, bearing in mind, Jodine went to live with the Corrigans at one point because Trish wasn't. Because Trish was busy pegging.
Pegging.
Man, yeah.
Peg-a-legging.
She suggests
some more manuscripts of that a bit later as well.
Yeah.
If she was on a tropical island, she wouldn't have gone because Barbados isn't real life. I mean, try telling that to 300,000 Barbadians.
Is it not Barbadosans?
Barbudans?
Stop that before it gets worse.
Yeah.
Is it's Action Man Mike as well to challenge myself?
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't understand.
Challenge himself.
He challenged himself. I'll stay outside. One night in that caravan he did, and then he was inside.
Say they were good challenges.
Feet in one of them big slippers. Nah.
It's like at school when you had to play that. I don't know if you guys did this, but who can hold on to the radiator the longest when it's like at
That
max?
sounds like abuse.
That's challenging yourself. It's not good for you.
Fucking hell.
Jesus Christ, were you fucking Miss Peregrine's Home for fucking misfit
No, it was
children
the-
or something?
It was the Terry Waite Academy for Naughty Boys.
References for nobody.
Well, we start off this episode after the waffle at the start that we have actually seen before,
Every
like
time,
20
yeah,
episodes ago. We get the Black Pipe Beach incident.
Yeah.
We
That we heard
do.
about.
Because
Our
the
friends.
three of them are sitting outside and they're like, some people here have got it too cushy and they don't. And this must have been early on in the year because at this point, later on, Trev has given up entirely and he's just knocking about in his room writing his erotic fan fiction or whatever. I don't know. But at this point, he's like, yeah, we're going to go out and challenge ourselves. We don't see. I wanted to see the bottle. I really want. That's what I was hoping for, was the magic bottle. But we don't see it, unfortunately. But we do. In my head, it was funnier what I imagined than what they actually did. Because
So
I imagined
bleak.
them all just in a pipe, like Homer when he gets
That
stuck.
pipe is massive, though, isn't it? It is a Homer pipe. It's big. I want to look it up on Google Maps or something, just see if it's still there. The black pipe.
Right, yeah, good thinking.
I'll do it. I'll do it for the end, maybe.
How Mike doesn't die here fishing, I've no idea, because the waves come in for him.
They've lowered themselves down on ropes to get to that like plateau bit.
Mm-hmm.
No, don't do that, you fucking idiots.
We also
Mike
get
said-
sheep japes, sheep limbs disarticulated in a black bin liner. What is he?
do that.
A martyr or a Jalfrezi?
Hey! They tell a very different story here than what actually happened.
Yeah.
It doesn't show him hoying the carcass into the sea to appease Davy Jones, does it?
There is a good bit where before they, obviously the first night or the first morning when they're eating the limpets and seaweed that they make, Mike says, I'll eat a lot of things, but I won't stoop to seaweed. Smash cut, Mike chowing down on some seaweed.
It's a good edit, yeah.
Yeah. Of course, Mike hates it. Toby doesn't like it, but our little Scouse pal Trev loves it and is
He's
just
mad. Yeah, he loves it.
scoffing it, isn't he?
He's so
His
happy.
taste buds are nuked after all that Vindaloo. You know it. I did quite like Mike coldly reciting how he killed a sick sheep, though.
I did like this. There's a question. I think Trev asks, "It's a big animal, a sheep. How do you kill a sheep?"
Yeah, because it was a bit ill and a bit doddery, and then I'm sure one of them says all the sheep have liver disease or something. One of them says they've all got liver flu, so it's probably the kindest thing to do. And I'm like, I think you're making up excuses because doesn't it turn out that the sheep was pregnant, and that might have been why it was a bit doddery.
Is this them revising the story afterwards or something?
Mike has a fantastic description of how he murders the sheep. I straddled it. He starts with, and then I didn't write anymore because I quite liked it. I straddled it, and I'm going to use that as my quote at the end of the show. Spoilers, listeners.
I just felt bad for them. It was a terrible idea. I also like the fact that no one had faith in them because as they left, I think it's Tammy. You can hear Tammy yell, "Yeah, see you later on," like in about a couple of hours.
Please don't die.
We get a livestock segment, more about Ben's Tatler girls. Oh, I'm not saying Tatler's posh, but all the people that work for them have got names like Harriet and Hermione.
Hermione, yeah.
No characters out of Harry Potter.
Yeah. Whereas if it was from
Shallow
Club Magazine,
Shallow is the first
Sharon.
guy. And everyone's happy about it, apart from Des, who says, "You'll eat anything when you're hungry." And then a bit later, "I'd just like to revise that. It's horrible. Go and change your jumper, Des. You stinky man."
No, but it does. Like, it looks, again, if I was that sheep, I'd be like, all right, fair enough. I'll sacrifice my life so others can live, whatever. But please don't turn me into brown paint. Like, it's awful.
Yeah.
I thought it
It's
looked
the one
tastier
recipe
than
they know.
the venison.
The venison looked like it was all bone.
Yeah.
They've thrown it. They're not even like cut it away.
Although there was a
make stock
huge
from it or
knuckle
whatever.
on someone's
That's
plate.
what I'm saying. Yeah, we're not
Yeah.
Greek boys. We're not going to be playing knuckle bones with it later. The Feral Island
Where the
children.
fuck did that reference come from?
I don't know.
You're reading your horrible histories.
I have actually, yes. I bought a job lot from a charity shop. They're great.
They are pretty good, even as adults.
It's where I get all my historical facts from.
There were 3 vegetarians on the island who probably were vegetarian because they saw the venison and the lamb. But and I don't know exactly who that is, but Philly's one of them.
I'm assuming
Julie.
Kira's father looks like he might
Warren.
be. Warren. He looks like he
Yeah,
might be.
He's
'cause
got a look, hasn't he?
He's got, white man dreads.
I should have chosen that as my name. Colin says the islanders are worried about the children, but actually they're stone cold. What are these sheep called? Wedders. And why are they called wedders? Because they've been castrated. Can we have a go on the gun now?
Can we have a go on the gun, please, Dad? But I kind of get it, because kids just want to learn stuff. Kids are like sponges to pull in information. But it was just like, no, I can't let you touch the gun, unfortunately. Here's a machete. Go and have a sword fight.
There's a section that just close your eyes and stab it. And I couldn't remember if it was Colin or if it was the child. I wasn't sure. But at this point, I've got to say, the best looking food I've ever seen on this show was right behind Colin. Colin's sausages look amazing.
Yeah, them hung up.
Oh, those dried.
I think that's
tasty.
Pat's job, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, Pat
Using
was the
the sausage
sausage
machine.
machine. Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
Well, the thing was, Mike, as we find out, Mike was like, I thought I'd test myself, and I volunteered to help out in the abattoir. And you can see his face. It's like all the colour drains from it.
It's Mike in a butcher's apron and what I can only describe as a Space Jam basketball shirt.
So spot on as well. Colin, we get more of his crisis because he says,
yeah.
I remember the one pig we slaughtered. It was a grey, horrible morning, about 5 a.m. And we had to get a group of bodies together to do this deed. It was like an executioner squad on some derelict building site out on the other side of Auschwitz. It was done properly, but it was just terrible. I'll do it for this year, but never again.
I mean, I don't think you can do it like just freelance butchery, can you? I'll kill your sheep, whatever, 10 quid.
But yeah, he was
mercenary
haunted by
butcher.
it.
Oh, mate, you would be. Like, I think it takes a special kind of thing to shut that bit of your brain off.
Yeah.
Like,
And that's
It's no
all
wonder
when
he's
they're
doing all the
cooked.
japes and stuff. He needs the levity of it.
levity of it, yeah. Because when they cut them, is there anything that you wouldn't do on the island? And nearly all of them go, poo stuff and killing stuff.
Yeah.
One thing leads to another. But yeah.
But both Corrigans are getting well involved in the poo and the murdering of animals. I would have absolutely been completely taken in by this Collins story had in the background, very, very quietly, if you go back and listen, listeners, Porrig's fucking tin whistle is somewhere outside of this building.
Yeah, I heard that, and
I thought it was fucking haunting all my dreams.
I genuinely thought,
But I
am
took
I
it
just
back.
hearing it now?
Yeah, I took it back and it was there because across these two episodes there's about 6 or 7 instances of that fucking penny whistle.
Yeah, you're just about to be executed. Any last requests? Yeah, tell him to shut the fuck up.
Absolutely, yeah.
It's him serenading Philly unsuccessfully.
Well, we
get
that they've
the.
had strange animal husbandry of putting some classical music on while you milk a cow.
Oh yeah, we'll get to that. The obligatory poo segment is worth talking about. Julie's responsible for the shitter, despite never wanting to. From used tampons to enormous leering turds.
Leering turds! In the morning.
And I think I know who that is, but I'll hold on to my guesses until.
Oh,
later.
I think that's Peter. Peter looks like a man who eats. They're all eating potato-based diets, but because he is such a Russian noble, I reckon. Yeah.
When we go back to a flashback of the first day of when they all first met en masse.
The poo lasagna.
Yeah, and she goes, "Oh, it's a shit lasagna," and I thought, I've had a few of them in my time.
Oh yeah, at least there's no horse in this one.
That was at the National, I think it was something like
the Welsh
National
place.
Eco Centre in Wales.
Centre for
Yeah.
Alternative Energy or something, wasn't it?
What is
Yes,
this?
I think
Centre
that's
for ants?
Louise comes and turns up on the island, who was showing them around.
Yeah,
she's
no,
in
she's
episode
like
2 or something like that.
Yeah, she was the poo toilet instructor.
Mm-hmm.
And she goes around grading them.
Put that
I'm
on the
assuming
CV.
Visitors Week, because Trev didn't invite anyone. There was seats going on the boat. Get that poo doctor in. Come on, not Gillian McKeith, the good one. Yeah. But she's impressed. She's like, 6 months and you've not... Well done. And she gives her a hug in the toilet.
Yeah.
I'm like, good work on your poo maintenance. Yeah. Again,
Yes.
Everyone needs a job. Hey.
Hey.
I'm sorry.
We get
I'd do it
Sandy's
again.
story.
This again. Again, much more interested in the book than it is when she's telling it. Old Mark
It is when you
McComb's
see
got
the
away with
photo.
words.
The photo of an adventurous Australian aunt.
Yeah.
That photo looked like the end of Shining, didn't it?
I've got the exact same thing. I'm expecting Jack Nicholson to be waving at the front.
Oh no, Sandy, you've always been on Tarrant.
Yeah, but again, she gets told she's got depression, doesn't she?
Right.
Oh yeah,
Well,
because she's basically got
when-
seasonal affective disorder.
when Mike went home, the psychologist went, "No, it's not depression. You're just a bit sad." Whereas they were like, "No, she was depressed because it's short days, it's grim." She says, "I was grey, my hair was grey. So what did I do? I bleached it." Did you? Because it looks like you've got a big ginger meringue on your head.
She is the only person I have ever met that is surprised that Scotland is grey for 7 months a year.
Yeah,
Like the only person.
but I kind of But no, the story is one of them, and she was like, "This is." I think it's to think of she did everything for her kids and all that, and this is for her. But the one thing that she does do, she fucks up.
Oh yeah,
well, spectacularly.
Yeah.
I've labelled it Taryn Says Kitchen Nightmares. It keeps coming back.
How
Before
many
that, though,
potatoes?
we get Gordon's Fish in Misery, and this bit is good.
This is. I expected Beadle to pop out of a hedge.
So we knew that Mean Children was singing songs about Gordon and his fishing inability. But we get him here fishing with Pat, filmed by Ben. And Pat is using apple as bait. And Ben says, "Do you think they like apple?" And Pat says, "I don't give a toss what they like."
I just want to catch one before he does. And it's really pointed and maybe a little bit.
No, I think it's just become a point of contention because
Right, okay.
Because when Gordon's talking to Tanya, they do like a kind of weird both facing the camera interview bit.
Yeah.
And he says, "I have caught fish, but they were this big, so there's no point. I put them back." So he has caught fish, but no one believes him. I think that's what it is.
The first Tanya we've seen in the whole year where she seems fucking human here.
Yeah.
She seems really good with Gordon. And I thought, what a great double act this is.
I think that something happened with that family that we weren't told about because Gordon seems to be doing all right. Cassie doesn't seem to be, but
yeah, I agree.
From the way it was presented, it was Cassie that was convincing Gordon to stay.
Yeah.
So I think something, or they've mixed their own narrative up somewhere down the line because Gordon's having a right laugh.
Well, he's not at the moment because Pat and Colin, they catch fish with their apple.
Yeah.
And Gordon's just like, "Oh my God, I don't know." Well, he doesn't say
He's
that. He wouldn't say that. But...
He's like, "I'll put a bit on my hook as well."
yeah, sure, I'll do it. And it turns out...
Oh, I missed Patrick's song about fish. Fish. Got some salmon, fish, or something
No
like
one
that.
missed that.
He just sings a little song as he runs over to Gordon. It's good.
It's good. It's slightly jazzy. Yeah, it turns out it's all a big fish jape. Colin and Pat used a dead fish and pretended to reel it in with
no.
And Colin...
Not just one dead fish.
Colin,
dead fish.
Colin confesses this all to his daughter in some grainy footage. Which I thought was
yes, silently.
Before he puts a pillow over her face.
Do you know how many times we did that to him?
It's so good.
7 times.
And then, to torment the poor man further, they climb up his pod, knock on his window, and dangle one of the fish on a fishing rod outside there.
Are we sure this didn't make them leave?
No, this is all good japes, isn't it? Like,
I know it is. I know. It's wholesome stuff.
Pat and Colin are like menaces, like legitimate menaces. Even Des gets.
I think they come out of their shell a lot more when Ron leaves. This is all after Ron.
Yeah, yes. Absolutely.
They are.
And I think there's just space for them to grow and establish themselves and have fun that wasn't there before because of Ron's psychological bullying.
Psychological bullying and also taking focus away from Ron, and Ron didn't like that. Really. He had to be. We all remember the dog, funeral that had, a thousand weeping virgins, and again with the bomb thing and the baby in the wall, like it's I think it was just something to do as well because the days are long and boring. There's only so many backgammon boards you can make.
We get Sandy's story arc comes back now. I wanted to go and get some mincemeat with the baked apples today. And could I do that? No!
To be fair, is it Des? Or is it Colin?
It's Colin.
It's Colin in there going, well, I'll look in there what I can make for tea. 7 packets of sea salt. I'll do something with that. Some organic ginger. He hates organic stuff, doesn't he? Organic chilies. Organic the best kind.
I would murder each and every one of you on this call right now for that big bag of organic chilies. They look amazing.
Question. They've got ginger. They've got garlic. They've got chilies. Why is Iron Man Mike sending away for hot sauces?
He can't make his own.
He's very
He's an,
challenging
action,
himself.
he's an action man, not a chili man.
Put it in your magic jar
Yeah,
and pray every
Shake
night
up.
to it.
That's why they've got all that, because he bought a job lot for going away on trips, and he's only been on one overnighter.
Colin's bit.
You always
here,
order in
I've said,
bulk, don't you? Yeah.
I've said that Colin is everything that Ron wanted to be. Just effortlessly funny. Takes a bad situation, makes light out of it, and it's better for it.
I
Although,
swear, like,
as Sandy
Colin-
says, we haven't even got any flour to make a simple cake.
A simple
Just-
cake.
Yes, yes.
Like a show
So,
we're on at Glastonbury.
Basically, Sandy made a massive cunt of it. Let's be fair.
Oh, this is brilliant though. She's like, because like in the way that thingy Julie wasn't the official poo monitor, she sort of was.
Yeah.
She appoints herself like food monitor.
Plenipotentiary quartermaster or something.
Yeah, essentially, and immediately spunks like 3/4 of the budget.
Yeah.
By
Absolutely.
June. This is by June.
Yeah. All the
going-
peroxide went to her head.
She's got a testicle
Even
off.
people on the beach, Monica and Philly, say it's gone too far.
Philly's
This
like,
is
we've
where we're
got
getting like
tomatoes
boxes
coming
of
in.
Jaffa cakes and stuff from
We've
shut
got-
up on the beach.
We've got cauliflowers that we've grown.
We've
and
grown,
we've
they're
bought.
coming in. And like, Trev, got a lot of beans. Must be an offer on. He can't stop the boy.
Yeah.
But
I would thought they would have been a little bit more excited when the boat comes in, but apparently not.
no, because
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? Like, people are gutted that all this stuff
Yeah.
is turning up, but that they're growing.
but in a way, Ron was right. They're taking potatoes this big and planting them to grow when you can just buy them. And Lord knows she bought them.
She did. She absolutely. As a man who's
Potato
grown his
man,
own
thank God you're
potatoes,
here. Yeah.
as a man who's grown his own potatoes this year, I can assure you, it's a great feeling taking potatoes that are this big and growing
I
them
know.
to
Just
exactly
in
the
a-
same size,
Just
just more
a
of
big,
them.
big bag, big pot, big raised bed.
Yeah, exactly.
It's good.
It's
Free
great.
potatoes.
It feels great. Feels great. Ron,
As
you
we
prick.
know, Sandy was ousted after Stornoway Gate. What we didn't know was that Dr. Roger gave this stirring speech about needing something that unites us
Yeah.
Again,
as an island.
Dr. Roger goes from being an absolute wet wipe to going, he's quite a nice bloke. And
At 100%.
flip flops me so much that
Yeah.
I can't get my head around. I think I like him more than Peter now.
Is it, though, that when he was doing that, they thread in the title music again to make it?
Stirring.
Yeah.
I mean, that is not the most bizarre choice of things that happen, because we cut to an interview with Ben at some point where he's going about, and you can just look at things and click, it's going to be a picture, and then it slow fades a sunset.
Like from a freeze frame of him, which is unnecessary
I
and has
thought,
never been a
has-
choice until today.
They've never done it before, and I
No.
thought, has someone done this on YouTube for a laugh to mess with me?
Yeah.
Nope.
Star
That
White
was
next week.
And this is exactly the thing we were saying, though, because they knew nobody was watching it and everything was gone. Like, the production team just went, fuck it, press all the buttons on the console, see what happens.
All right, George Lucas.
So it was actually Dr. Roger's idea to harvest the peat to save on fuel, which made no sense back in episode 10 when we told you about it, but it's because of the crippling debt that Sandy's maniacal
That's
rage
right.
brought them
That's
to.
correct.
Sandy, if no one else did it, if I did it wrong, no one else stood up and said otherwise. They did, though.
Yeah,
did, like
yeah,
tons
of
they
times.
did on a number of times, and there was a meeting after meeting about the fact that you
was
were
like-
wrong.
That was like an army mess tent, the amount of shit she ordered there. There's 34 people. They were growing their own stuff. They had their own meat. Like, it should have just been brown sauce, and that's it.
Brown
According
sauce
to that kid,
and
that's all he
Easter turkey. Yeah, that's all it should have been.
But they better
But what we
have.
didn't... Go on.
Ben, they're talking about the peat cutting, and Ben says, "Peat cutting? I thought it was potatoes." The BBC's Ben Shepherd, ladies and gentlemen,
Yeah,
or whatever he's
to be-
called, Fogel.
Ben,
They're interchangeable. Joe, you get it wrong every week.
I get it
so it's my
wrong
turn.
all the time. I still owe someone a drink for the whole Ben Shepherd, Ben Fogel presents tipping point fiasco.
What we didn't see either was Roger getting netted by the young ones, Toby, Mike, and Porrig.
Yeah.
And Pat looks on disgusted that the prank isn't fish based. Like, this is your thing.
Gwen, come and rub me. I need calming down. Get in the wigwam. No, again, but he's right. The doctor's right. Like, they needed something to do, and they need to do it collectively, a collective action.
Yeah.
Because it brings them together, and that's what they needed to do from day one. And that's why Ron was an outsider. That's why other people were outside, because they never got involved in it. When they were all planting potatoes and shit, he was just stood there going, bunch of dicks, weren't he? Right? You've got to get in with it. It cuts to them all trying to move a shed on a sedan system. And I'm like, what the fuck? Is it just because you're bored?
It's in C3PO to be sat on the top.
Yeah, it's brilliant, but he's right. Like, it is true.
We get some more of Dr. Roger as well being, well, I wouldn't say normal, but like all right, because we get Trisha's secret video diary next,
Oof.
and all the way through it, he's playing like a Chopin concerto or something out on a deck.
Yeah, I expected him to have like a cigarette in an ashtray there. Like,
He should have
he's got his shades on, like a
glass
little
of
beret.
red wine just out of reach. Yeah.
But again, I don't know whether or not that was separate and they filmed it and they dubbed the two together.
Yeah.
But I'd like to imagine that he was just there and she was like, this is, a fucking glass of red wine looking out over that without playing, I'd be like, this is pretty good.
Because this is Midsummer, this.
All the shit, yeah. Well, it cuts to that maypole that's still there.
Yeah, it could be any time of year. So Trish bravely reveals that the thing that led her to the island was an eating disorder. And at one point, she was taking 80 laxatives a day. So my point about the leering turd earlier.
Can you commit suicide by taking laxatives? I don't know, but I'm going to stay around and find out. You would shit yourself inside out, surely.
Yeah, absolutely.
You cannot take 80 laxatives a day.
I assume they don't work. I assume she bought the cheapest ones that don't work.
Or it was I thought you meant like there's a tipping point with like your body just can't shit anymore.
Well,
no, I mean we're making fun of it, and it's not funny. It isn't funny
it's not.
Because she says like she made herself sick. She did all these things because she's got a body image problem. She's got an eating disorder, and it's for all the fun we've made of her, we're allowed to do that because that was because she's a horrible mother.
Yeah. But then we fast forward, and someone behind the camera, I assume from live TV, goes, do you still feel fat?
Do you still feel fatty?
And she just goes, oh, because she was absolutely not expecting that question on camera, and she is taken aback, and I think she wants to turn around and go, you cheeky fucker. But she doesn't. She just goes, yes.
It's always going to be with me.
I always will. Yeah, and that made me feel very sad. Yeah.
That's assistant producer Paul who was asking that question.
Where is the safeguarding once again?
Yeah, absolutely.
I've got more about assistant producer Paul at the very end.
Yeah.
But she takes the question well, as Plantys said, and she genuinely seems happier. She says that her time on the island, I can't remember exactly what it is. She says it's like before it was pissing it down with rain every day, and now it's the sun shines through. So that's really nice. Nice story arc for her. We get the livestock segment again. This is where they play Dvorak's New World Symphony to get the cows milking. It's Symphony Number 9, composed in 1893. Symphony Number 9
was it
E major
in the Netherlands?
It's
it was written in the Netherlands, Joe.
Oh, he probably
it's
didn't
a song
like
recorded by Puerto Rican singer Ricky Martin for his 5th studio album and English language debut, Ricky Martin, 1999. A Latin pop and dance song with elements of ska, surf, salsa. It's an irresistible, particularly sinister, wild woman who lives out on the edge, seducing others into a crazy world.
What? Does she live in the Black Pipe? That's the question.
Dvorak's
New World Symphony, of course, we all know as, hey, I used to deliver bread up to Mrs. Goggins' house, and then it were a really good ride downhill, which you'll all know as James's childhood.
Hey, the lads!
You see, I was going to go with that reference, and then I just threaded in something about living the Vida Loca instead.
Yeah, I looked away for a second, and James was talking about Ricky Martin. Have I just had a very small stroke, and I haven't noticed?
Famously, of course, not living La Vida Loca, but that advert for the Hovis, directed by
Roman Polanski.
Jesus Christ, that would be very different. Director of Alien.
Oh, really? Riddles?
Yeah, old Rotten
wow,
Grid.
I think I knew that, but yes.
Was it 2 hours long and had a mysterious sequence?
It's been re-released 9 different times.
And they cut most of Harrison Ford's parts out of it.
Yeah. Just a man trying to fold a crumpet into a unicorn.
Into
a unicorn shape, not into a unicorn.
I missed an opportunity there because Rutger Hauer's from the Netherlands.
Right. Anyway, see how little new information is in these shows, people. Absolutely.
Well, you say that. Ben Vogel says that after this, he wants to be a cowherd with his own wife, girlfriend, mistress,
mistress.
And boats. What do you think a cowherd is? Don't know. Don't know. He just went on a journey.
I think Vogel's gone a bit mad, to be honest.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. But they always do, don't they, when they're a bit posh?
Yeah, but they just call that eccentric, don't they?
Hmm.
Posh people are eccentric, poor people are mental. Yeah.
So everyone's going on their own journey through this. One journey that we didn't know about was Trev. Trev's dad falls ill in August. We didn't know about this because the cameras just shut off in August anyway.
Apparently,
Someone didn't hear
yeah.
anything.
Ron
nothing
ate all the
happened.
batteries.
And Ray had eaten all the tapes. Whatever's going on there.
Trev's dad falls ill in August, so he has to shoot off to Liverpool. He says that a kid gets the intensive care bed destined for his dad, and just died within 4 hours of getting there, which certainly leaves an impression on him.
His dad dodged a bullet with that bed, I would say.
I don't think it was the bed, unless it kept folding him up. Unless it was deathbed. Which, if you haven't seen it, is a great film.
I haven't. Add it to the list.
He has that moment though when he's talking about it. He says like, "Well, yeah, there's 34 people on the island. In a year, someone in the family's going to die. My mum's going to die. My dad's going to die. Hopefully, they'll die before me because that's the right way around, isn't it? That's the circle of life. He doesn't say the circle of life. He says that's what it is. And I was like, Trev, do a joke. I can't take you being.
Yeah, this is not. Yeah,
I can't take you being heartfelt and genuine, man. Like it genuinely was like, oh my god, Trevor's actually a real human and not just a cheeky little horny capuchin monkey going around. Like, but yeah,
he returns to the island after a while. His dad
survives.
Right. Yeah. Which isn't the right way of things, but anyway, Mike returns and he says, I didn't watch the programs either while I was away. Wait till you hear about Big Brother, though. Phew.
Yeah.
I'm surprised
we're
they kept that
second-rate shit compared to Big Brother.
Nobody's watching it.
Wow.
Nobody. He says that the mainland was sort of stressful. It was weird seeing people going off to work in the morning, and it didn't feel real. This is real.
A lot of them have said that though. Like the people who have had to go back for family reasons or whatever, not just for a Beezer lark to buy some fucking, they've all said it's jarring because
the question is, do you prefer the real world or Taryn and he said, is that the real world?
Again,
this, and I'm
Mike's been matrixing him in his ear.
Yeah.
He's red pilling him, yeah. Because he I don't know if Trev goes back to driving instructing or whether he just becomes like a scuba instructor. Him and Mike, I hope so, because he seemed so much from the start of it, where I thought he was kind of annoying, to now. I've grown to love the boy because he's just a nice.
This is the thing, people develop, don't they? Through the course of this, people develop. It's nice.
Yeah, but it's a lovely thing, and and the bit where he's going on about death, for the fourth person in 2 episodes to have a big monologue about death. It's weird, but it's nice. But also, yeah.
I'll tell you what I didn't understand. Lamb transplant with Colin and Tammy?
Buying the lamb a coat, I think is what it is.
Made out of a lamb?
That lamb's fucking dead.
I didn't understand.
Let's rip the skin off of it and let's cover this cold lamb in this.
It's not because it's cold, it's because of the smell.
What?
He said, right, so...
This isn't The Walking Dead. What are you talking about?
It's getting serious now.
The
I'll put my
lambing
headphones
dead.
off and throw my head back. Billy comes down one morning and says, I looked out and there was this lamb there and it's not going to survive. Like, some lambs don't. Right. That's nature, right? But there was also another lamb whose mother had rejected it. So they took the fur off the one that had died, put it on the one whose mother had rejected it, so that the other mother, who had a dead lamb, would accept it as her own because of the smell. You do it you're supposed to do it when you get like a new dog. I know you've got an old dog in the house or another dog in the house. You rub the new dog in the blankets and stuff of the old dog so it recognizes the smell and doesn't perceive it as a threat.
Man, sheep are thick as fuck.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's my Kevin.
Right, if I came in your house with a moustache and you think I was someone else.
I also think that's the plot of The Exorcist, isn't it? A new dog and an old dog.
I'm glad somebody explained it to me because I watched it and I was I don't know what I've just seen.
I don't know if the science of it is accurate, but I have heard of it. I think in one of the James Herriot books.
Right, okay.
I think there is some merit of it.
It sounds like kind of like madness that does actually make sense down on the farm somewhere.
But I also like the fact is, if we put it on the wrong way around, he wouldn't know if he was coming or going. He just shot a lamb in the head at 7 a.m. Jesus Christ.
But they make a little jacket out of it, don't they? It's even got the holes for its legs, and they put it,
it's tight the sheep.
Yeah, looking good.
They put like a collar on it, they put like a little pocket, they put pens in it. Yeah, it's good.
It's got buttons so that it could have 2 or 3 undone. And
him and Mike going out on the town, down to the curry house.
We get a segment about families next. Kids can just run around wild, which is nice. Roger says that they can get on with adults now, and we get them playing with Toby at some sort of indoor cricket event,
And
which
that
looks
child-
terrifying.
That child absolutely fucking bollocks that ball.
Yeah.
So much so that the three people who were in a light catching position have to flinch out of the way of it. It's like, it's indoor cricket, like block shots only, or knock it up. Right? Yeah.
They weren't expecting that. They don't have anyone at third man at the fireplace or anything.
There's no one at silly mid off or whatever.
Very good.
Silly wank off.
For
I don't
somebody
know.
who doesn't know anything about sport, you're very good at this.
I know. I used to quite like cricket because you can get drunk.
Yeah, that's the best reason.
And it takes all day. So if you go for a piss, you come back. Nothing's happened. It's great.
And you can get a tram direct to your house.
Yeah, and that. Yeah.
We get a montage of the school. We get a clip of a rare shot of Porrig in the school, actually, just teaching a kid about 30,000 English dead.
Write that down, he says.
You got to take your wins where they are, haven't you, Porrig?
It's just like,
I nearly looked up what conflict that was. But,
Mr. Podrick, sir, we're supposed to be doing about botany. Fuck off, the English are bastards.
I was going to look up 30,000 English dead, but this is
could
not
be-
the right political climate to start searching for that.
Next
Also,
week.
it could be one battle in World War One. It isn't necessarily an Irish. You know what I mean? It could be anything. Like, because I was going to do the same thing.
I mean, 30,000 is high. That's like Napoleonic era casualties, I'd say, and beyond. But yeah.
But it could just be died of Black Death in a month. You know, it could be a multitude of things. It's not necessarily a war. All I know is that Podrick had a look of glee on his face talking
Yes.
about it.
We get a snow
lessons in the
montage.
school. Other lessons in the school.
Oh, yeah.
Don't join those letters up. Shut up, Mum. That's what he says.
Yes.
And also something about geothermal energy. And
Oh,
they have a bit of a laugh.
to the kid, yeah. Oh, do you think we could do geothermal energy here? And the kid goes, "Oh, I don't know the answer to this, and I'm on film." No, no, I don't think so either. It's really fucking cold, isn't it?
Name two good things and one bad thing about nuclear energy. Something. I know the bad thing. I don't know what the good thing is.
It's pronounced nuclear.
Nuclear.
I don't think we should talk about that this week. There's a lot of snow at the start of the year, obviously. We get Rosemary saying that the children have learned more this morning from going out and building snowmen than a week of the Labour government's curriculum would teach them in a year. But I can't quantify it.
School has been cancelled. What should we call the snowman? Carrot head.
Yeah.
That's a week's worth of education, apparently, under Tony Blair.
She goes, I can't tell you what they're learning, but they've definitely learned more than 3 days.
It's not currency, is it? Because you shit your pants the other week when you were trying to teach them how money works.
And next week, spoilers. There's a bit we've kind of missed with Tanya's mum, where we're talking about Tanya packing stuff up, and Tanya's mum's being interviewed in this old person kitchen because remember Tanya's mum is old and frail, and quote her, Tanya deserves to go off. And then stops, and then it's followed by the most furious looking face that everyone's ever had. She does not want Tanya to ever leave this house.
No, I thought she was going to say something else, because they leave the pause.
Yeah.
And she just goes, I think she should be able to go off and do whatever she wants.
And she just,
Did you forget to cut the tape there, or is that on purpose?
But then we learn she has to have time away for her ancient mother and decrepit grandmother, who also lives with them.
Missed this.
Yeah, I bet the house stinks of fucking lavender, Werther's Originals, and death.
I bet her mum killed that Westie dog so that she'd stay.
Oh yeah, because the dog's just died. That's it.
Don't tell Ron.
It's all right, though, because if the dog dies, you could just take the fur off and then stick it on something else. And
I love the fact you both went to different places with that. It's great. I honestly think that the old mum in this is basically in the cellar in a rocking chair, just a corpse.
The old woman from a lower low. She's just in bed with a big hearing thing.
It's like a weird Mrs. Havisham.
Yes.
The other thing about the school is that Aaron Carey, who's 2, gets left there all day by Cassie.
Oh,
and Rosemary tries to. Yeah. This is uncomfortable watching.
I also
Rosemary tries to get her to
call him Airy Carey as well.
She's furious because she thinks that the people that are teaching, so we've got Rosemary, we've got Julius, we've got
Julia, we've got
Jules,
Podrick,
we've got Julia, we've got Podrick, and at one point we had Ron. But that's not enough teachers, quote unquote, to also be running around after a 2-year-old. Is the
who
point
just
that
wants
Rosemary
to be
makes.
read stories constantly?
Yeah.
She said.
And she says, look, she says something like, well, he'd be able to go to school all day in Birmingham.
No, that's later on when they're doing some snipey old women stuff that I wasn't a fan of as well. But no, she says, but yeah, we can't dedicate that amount of time to one child when there's other children as well. Like, you can come in the mornings and that's fine. She's like, well, what's he going to learn in the morning? Well, what are you fucking doing all day? You can't look after your own kid.
Yeah, because she says
eating eggs.
She says that I can't just bring him for 2 hours, and I didn't kind of understand. Yeah, you live like across the road, like not even a road.
It's about half a kilometre walk, I think it looks like. But even so, what else are you doing all day? Literally, what are you doing? Nothing.
Telling Ron he's dirty, probably.
Yeah. Looking at other bits of the Bible.
Cassie says that their schoolhouse is segregated, effectively.
Oh, fuck, I missed that.
Yeah, she doesn't say that, but she
does.
Implied. Oh, does she?
She says it's segregation, yeah.
Right, I missed that.
And then she later says people are talking about you behind your back. Anyway, I'll get my revenge on them by nicking eggs. Is what she doesn't say.
Just cracking them straight into my mouth like Rocky.
That's how she gets her strength.
No, but it was when all the other women are sitting about going yeah about her, and I was like, well, that's not helping anyone either, is it? But they're right. Yeah, if she was in Birmingham all day, because you would pay someone to look after your child all day.
And somebody goes, well, this isn't Birmingham, and I let out a shocked gasp. It isn't.
No, there's fresh air. There's not a GDK anywhere nearby.
All the bins have been emptied.
Yeah.
We get a last bit on something that is genuinely new to us. The show, the agricultural show on Harris.
Oh, this? Where
I think
was this
we might
when
have,
it happened?
We might have missed Gordon being upset that children beat the fuck out of their parents, and if they were my kids, I'd hit them. And I was like, oh, Dad, is that you?
Yeah, because the doctors' family are like, well, we let them do what they want, and then because I think they say when they're not going to put them in education when they come back because they've done a smashing job themselves. Again, it reestablishes my thing of I need to know if those kids are now just like riverboat hustlers somewhere or something because I need to know what they're doing.
What's their surname again?
The Stevensons.
The Stevensons.
I'm just going to look up Felix Stevens.
Don't Google because I've got a wonderful bit for the end.
Wonderful bit for the end. Cuthbert and Trinket, or whatever they were called.
Okay.
Yeah, so there's this agricultural show on Harris that makes them all feel more productive and creative. They want to submit things to it.
This is that thing of it's something for them to do. It's something for them to focus on. I mean, is it Trish who's like making a pillow? And she's, I've never done this before.
Sandy.
Yeah. I've never done this before, much. And I'm like, you're lying then, aren't you? You've done it before, haven't you? But other old women who could sit there all winter doing this. And I'm like, it's a country show on fucking Harris. You're probably going to win summer because there's 90 people that live in Harris.
My favorite thing is Colin's submission, which is a whalebone surrounded by a helix of barbed wire.
Yeah,
his conscience reckoning with what he's done. It's called Preservation of the Species.
I think it's beautiful.
It looks like something the Cenobites would enter into the competition.
No, it looks
like a rejected Pink Floyd album cover and title.
Something Damien Hirst would make, put a load of Swarovski crystals on it and charge someone £8 billion for. That's what it looks like. Right? I quite like it because, again, I think this is his guilt eating away at him. He's not murdered a whale to our knowledge.
Julie C says, I don't think the Harris agricultural show is ready.
The angry young artists of Gordon.
So, Colin, what do you paint? Is it watercolours?
Be sure to scrape off your sheets. Yeah.
And your penis.
Rosemary and Tanya act as emissaries to the great state of Leverburg,
why
the
the
second
fuck
largest
did
village
they send her?
after Tarbert.
Yeah, I know, but why did they send her? I get Tanya, but
yeah, don't know. It does feel a bit.
I mean,
random.
she looks like a member of the WI.
Yeah,
doesn't she? She gets a Mr. Whippy ice cream, the most Tory of ice creams, of course.
Yeah.
We all know our history about why Mr. Whippy ice creams came into being.
Yeah, she has some ice cream and then creams and a keks. It's so happy with it. That's disgusting. I wish I had said that. I wrote it and I thought, should I? Nah, fuck it.
And then you did. The show includes tartan, pipes, interpretive dance. It's a proper Scottish show, I guess.
There's some
one thing that
caber
was-
tossing.
I was going to
Yeah.
say, there's some caber tossing.
Like
and I'm
it's like a Highland Games and the lot all in one.
It's
Yeah,
it's
it looks
Highland
good,
Games and a
actually.
car boot combined.
Let's
I'm
let's visit it. Yeah, let's go to it.
Oh, yes.
Let's enter
Yes.
something.
I'm
Enter
gonna
the podcast.
No,
Yeah.
no, I'm gonna enter
No.
a whalebone covered in razor wire and be like, the survival of the species 2. See if they remember.
I'm going to enter
two
some,
species too furious.
I'm going to enter some cabbages that are going to finish second.
I'm
Well,
going to
also
enter a leering turd.
with googly eyes. To be fair though, Doctor's wife is like, there's bigger cabbages there, and I'm gonna fuck them up so we win. And I'm like, go on, lad.
Yes, yeah. This is what it needs. It needs. That's what you're saying. Like a good community effort.
No,
You
but they're all
sharing
so
the spoils sort of thing.
like, and they come back and they've got tails from the
Yeah.
the folk
Yeah.
with all their fingers.
7th prize for the cabbage. Each one
No,
got sold off for
second.
£5.
No,
Second
yeah.
prize.
Second place for
And-
Sandy's cushion
Oh, right.
Oh,
okay.
was it?
And
for
they
the
were,
cushion competition.
and Collins won first prize.
Yeah, of course, because they were terrified that
For the
he'd pop out
confusing
and
sculpture.
start beating them with it. By God, it's Colin with the whalebone.
Tanya explains they were going to be a bit naughty and went to the shops, but then they'd forgotten how to use money.
So
But
They
that's
forgot what
because
to
how were they
buy.
teaching children last week how to
Yeah.
use money when they don't know? I don't know. Maybe
They come
eat
out
it.
with 2 bottles of ketchup, what looks like a
One
jar
bottle-
of olives, and some
One bottle
HP
of brown
sauce.
sauce.
HV sauce, of
Them
course.
kids
for the
are like-
That's
children.
only for a son.
Cuthbert and Trinket are like, yeah.
I think it
no-
was a jar of Robinson's golden shred, actually.
Oh, I thought it was
It might have been.
beetroot or pickled cabbage or something. We'll never know.
I thought it looked dark. Yeah.
Yeah. It could be jam.
And then we get
Yesterday's
to
trip.
play us out. It's Toby's poem.
Oh,
Who wants to do it? Shall I do it? Or
I think you
I've
should.
not got it, so yeah.
I sent it to you before.
I know,
All right.
but
So yeah, we get like a series of shots over this, and he read this during his open 3-button interview at the start, and he's now reading it at the end, and it's where where is it? There it is. It's accredited to the author Leo F. Buscaglia. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong, but I think you're dead, so I'm all right. And it goes something like this: to laugh is to risk appearing a fool. To weep is to risk appearing sentimental. To reach out to another is to risk involvement. To expose feelings is to risk exposing your true self. To place your ideas and dreams before a crowd is to risk their loss. To love is to risk not being loved in return. To live is to risk dying. To hope is to risk despair. To try is to risk failure. But risks must be taken, because the greatest hazard in life is to risk nothing. The person who risks nothing, does nothing, has nothing, is nothing. He may avoid suffering and sorrow, but he cannot learn, feel, change, grow, or live. Chained by his servitude, he is a slave who has forfeited all freedom. Only a person who risks is free. So just get in the van.
At least Ray wrote his own poem. Do you know what I mean?
He did, yeah.
I mean, who goes? I'm going to go to my next job interview and read out a poem about risk. That sounds. It worked. You
Put
got
all
on the
your
island,
stuff
I guess.
in Papua New Guinea and just build it up. Never try and hold Oceania because you can't. But yeah, and it's quite like we could have saved so much time and just watched these last 3 episodes because this is the year in
This is it, yeah.
in macro basically. But yeah, that's kind of it. Nothing else really happened. My highlight of the episode was them putting that bottle of brown sauce down and everyone losing their fucking minds.
In the water, or I'll kiss your daughter. Drinking from a puddle, giving her a cuddle. Nasty facts.
So, because we had the obligatory poo segment earlier, I thought I'd get a lofty quote about poo.
Ooh.
People say, how do you go to the toilet in the Arctic? Exactly the same as here, but faster. You don't want to bear anything to the elements. You got so much kit on. I was new to the mountain, and inside a tent, you use the shovel. Do what you want on the shovel, and then you get it, and you fling it as far as you can over a glacier. I know it's I know it seems crude, but there's no toilets or nothing. First time I'd done it, got everything off, squatted, perfect. But then I turned the shovel over, turned to get my kit, and it's all over the floor. It's all that gone then. You only do it once.
Wait, where did the poo go then?
All over his. Well, I'm guessing it was piss.
Oh, you don't
I
piss.
see.
How
Oh,
can
it
you
was-
piss on a shovel?
I don't know.
No, you were just.
What if you don't have a
outside to
glacier?
piss.
There's a lot of
I'm
questions.
assuming you can't throw water off a shovel. It's just going to form an arc, isn't it? And you're going to get all piss on you. Your own piss, which is not even. I don't pay for that. I mean,
You only
what?
do it once. You'll think, no, this will freeze off, but no.
No. It's like them good videos when it's really cold and Americans throw boiling water in the air because it freezes. And 9 times out of 10, it's not cold enough and they just scald themselves.
Yeah.
It's a delight.
He does it because it's sterile and he likes the taste.
He started before we even set off. Yeah, well, Plantys already ruined it, his quote of the episode.
I forgot. I've completely forgot. I've got so many. I straddled it.
There we go, that was it.
30,000 of your English dead.
I don't give a toss what they're like, Ben. I just want to catch one before him.
Maybe don't join up for your S&F. Shut up, Mum! Say goodbye, boys.
Bye. Editing.